constitutional amendment. This is something that I ran on when I ran for office. And it has to do with term limits in the General Assembly. This would limit members of the Senate to 3 full terms or 12 years, and members of the House of Delegates to 6 full terms or 12 years. The limitations apply to service for both consecutive and non-consecutive terms. Service for a partial term does not preclude serving the allowed number of full terms. In addition to any partial term, a person may serve 12 years in each house for a total of 24 years in the General Assembly. The limits apply to terms of service beginning on and after the start of the 2020 regular session of the General Assembly. And just a couple of key points that I want to make about this. There is a clear message from about half of the Commonwealth and half of the country that folks distrust our government. And I would like to see more frequent turnover to prevent corruption and to increase accountability. The bill allows for 12 years in each of the Virginia House of Delegates and the Virginia Senate, which applies, as we mentioned earlier, to consecutive and non-consecutive terms for a maximum of 24 years in the General Assembly. Our states who have implemented term limits include Florida, Louisiana, Missouri, and 12 other states. And I also want to talk about the average term limit implementation elsewhere. 6 of the 15 states implement lifetime term limits ranging from 6 to 16 years. 9 of the 15 states implement consecutive limits ranging from 8 to 12 years. Virginia has a tradition having a citizen legislature, and we should be promoting the temporary nature of elected positions rather than creating careers out of holding office. We should go back to our families and businesses and the community after we've served our allotted terms and subject to the laws that we help to implement. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Is anybody here to speak in support of the bill? Anybody speak in opposition? Any questions for the senator? All right. Is there a motion? Motion is PBI, second by Senator Dance. All right, all those in favor of PBI, please say aye. Aye. Senator Chase votes aye by proxy. Senator Chase.
I'm going to vote for support of it.
Well, you vote when you know. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, Ann.
Sorry, the League of Women Voters opposes the term limit, so we would not support it.
We finally agree on something.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to write this down. Senator Chase.
Okay, my next bill, I think it's going to get a much better, hopefully, a favorable response here. SJ 225 is a constitutional amendment regarding to the qualification of governor and the residency requirement. This increases the current 5 years to 8 years, the number of years a person must have been a resident of and a registered voter in the Commonwealth in order to be eligible to the office of governor. The key points that I would like to make here are that this requires that candidates have been personally invested in the Commonwealth for a longer period of time than currently required. It increases the requirement from 5 to 8 years as a resident. Gubernatorial candidates will have lived through approximately 2 governor's administrations, increasing their understanding of previous administrations and issues of the Commonwealth. And just to give you perspective, other states average between 5 to 10 years. And that is my bill, Mr. Chair.
Anybody here to speak in support of this bill? Anybody here to speak in opposition to this bill? Okay. All right. Just want to make sure I didn't miss it. All right. Any questions of Senator Chase? It's been moved and seconded to PBI, seconded by Senator Dance by proxy. And all these are everybody. This doesn't mean we don't kill bills in the Senate subcommittees. This all has to go before the full committee. So this is just a recommendation, not a final act. The House does it differently. All right. Yeah. So anyway, motion is PBI is properly seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. 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 We'll vote aye. Senator Chapin votes no. I mean, no. I'm sorry. He votes no to PBI.
I vote no to PBI.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Senator Servo. Welcome back.